This is the Fire Joker. Guess what, guys? Guess what? Guess what? I get to review an actual good episode for once. Can you believe that? A good episode. I mean, after all these really, really bad episodes, I mean, oh, character development is smell my dirty feet. Oh, I'm a real writer. I'm a real writer. But guess what? Guess what? Guess what? This is a season finale. And the season premieres and finale are usually usually in the higher level tiers of quality. But yeah, I mean, you know, there was a season 6 premiere that wasn't all that great. Even though it had the princesses finally doing something, I just didn't feel it wasn't enough to carry a whole review. That's why I didn't do it. But here's something I can actually do a review for. Something with substance. Something I can talk about. Something good. Something good. Shadowplay. So, this episode begins with an exposition dump by Starswirl the Bearded, played by the man who voiced Light's dad from Death Note. Thankfully with no mumbling.
Why you're still at school?
Tumblr!
But we soon came to believe the pony who brought us together only wanted that power for himself. Cast out and alone, this power-mad pony turned to darkness. Transformed into a pony of shadows, he returned for revenge.
Wait, a pony who succumbs to darkness for power? Run away! It's Dusk Dawn!
I'm way too evil for that.
So, yeah, not really much I can make fun of regarding this intro. What I really gotta praise is that each of these ponies depicted have been mentioned in previous episodes during Season 7, with very little indication that they'd be mentioned again. Also, a surprising subversion to the typical we'll meet again and they never meet again thing. Hello, samurai! So yeah, surprisingly good, clean setup.
That's the last entry. And maybe Starswirl's final words before he vanished.
Oh no! His vanishing is so surprising!
My little pony, my little pony. Indeed. From the looks of it, the last thing he wrote before facing the Pony of Shadows.
Wait, that was back in Season 4, Castlemania. I'm sorry, but with so many episodes liking to pretend that others don't exist, it's nice to see an episode that actually cares about its lore.
Hold on a second now. All those legendary ponies were real too, and they went off with Starswirl to face the Pony of Shadows, and then none of them were ever heard from again?
Yeah, weren't you listening?
We spent a long time on this exposition dump, so you don't have to repeat anything, gosh.
My old Ponish is a bit rusty, but I wonder if the answers can be found somewhere within the pages of this book.
Old Ponish, so they do have dead languages like we talked about in Newbie Dash. Wow, we made fun of that pretty prematurely. Oops.
I mean, I've practically memorized every ancient text about Starswirl there is.
Seriously, all of them.
Actual biting, funny wit from Spike? Quick, writers, make his feet stink!
Solving a thousands-year-old mystery could take forever. Think of the research, the rereading, the re-rereading.
Is Spike developing? But yeah, in the past few seasons, it's been shown that Spike is slowly growing to be 110% done with books. I really hope this goes somewhere. So they decide to go back to the library and do some research, but it's been about 3 days and they haven't made a lot of progress.
There's parts where his horn writing is like another language.
Yeah, that makes sense. You ever tried to read the original manuscript for Beowulf?
Herc Silphum se Ponehenge. What's that? The Temple of Ponehenge? You can read that? The horn writing's pretty sloppy, but it's nowhere near as bad as mine. Tawar dul grim...
Oh my gosh, the look on Twilight's face. I just wasted 3 days trying to decipher another language, and it was just messy handwriting? So, they deduce that the last location is in the Temple of Ponehenge, where the demons dwell.
Where the banshees live and they do live well.
I've never seen magical runes like these before. Have you?
I think I could read that. It looks like...
Even then, I'm not sure we'd find out what happened here over 1,000 years ago. You're right. I suppose it was a long shot.
Okay, hold on. You take 3 days to decipher a journal and want to keep going, yet you give up 20 seconds after finding lost ruins that you can't translate? Haha! After years of searching, I finally found scrolls from the library at Alexandria! But they're so disorganized. This wasn't worth the trip.
I guess I hoped we'd get here and the mystery would just magically be explained.
Twilight?
Convenient! Okay, to be fair, even though that's really contrived, I can't be mad. The way they presented it was just funny. So Star Wars holograms of the Pillars of Unity appear, along with the Pony of Shadows.
You summon me at your peril, Star Swirl. Once I defeat all of you, this realm will embrace the darkness, as I did so long ago.
Sorry guys, this character isn't doing it for me, and I know the exact reason why. I play Kingdom Hearts. Darkness is one of those words that's been ruined for me by pop culture. Like daddy. So, turns out that the Pony of Shadows was so powerful, the only way to defeat him was to imprison him.
But I wouldn't say the mystery's solved. Star Swirl's spell was one of the most powerful feats of magic in all of history. It'll take years of study before we fully understand it.
I think I understand Star Swirl's spell!
Convenient! Then Twilight goes on a long fangirl tirade about Star Swirl, again, and figures out exactly what happened.
What exactly is so amazing? Only how Star Swirl and the other pillars sent the Pony of Shadows to Limbo.
Okay, first we got Pony Hell with Tartarus, and now we got Limbo. That's 2 of the outer planes down. Oh wait, does Mount Celestia count? Also, there's something I gotta say about this episode so far. It's funny.
Darling, your diorama! I made more.
Like, there's a lot of jokes like that sprinkled throughout the episode, or even subtle jokes like Fluttershy accidentally breaking an ancient artifact and trying to fix it. Gotta give props. Then Twilight thinks that they can rescue the pillars.
I don't know. Opening portals between worlds didn't work out well for me.
Ha! Guilt is gonna eat her for the rest of her life.
That's the thing about Limbo. It isn't one place or another. It's in between, so time stands still.
Convenient!
I actually built another model to demonstrate.
What can we do to help?
Okay, it might just be coming off of trilogy time here, but, Spike is being awesome here! Like, I love how he sees that everyone is getting frustrated with Twilight, and he redirects the conversation back to the crucial points, like he's her seeing eye dog for socializing. A social eye dog. Okay, Equestria Girls is starting to make a lot more sense now. So the map directs them to a fetch quest! Then Applejack goes to retrieve the Shovel of Rockhoof, who's pretty much Paul Bunyan meets John Henry.
I love old legends as much as any pony, but a pony strong enough to save a village from rushing lava with a shovel is preposterous.
Lady, do you not know where you are? Sorry for harping on this, but the wound is still fresh!
I can't. I'm really stuck.
I can't believe you just did that. You saved us.
And why you fail, that is. Then we move on to Rarity, who is retrieving Miss Maine's flower. The caretaker bemoans the state of the garden, but Rarity fixes it rather quickly. I'm starting to notice a pattern. Each of the ways they retrieve the artifact not only reflects their element of harmony, but also the corresponding pillar of unity. That is clever writing right there. Rainbow Dash and Spike head to the Dragonlance to find Flash Magnus' shield, and of course they run into the one dragon that constantly makes the others look bad.
Well, what do you know? The puny pony dragon's sticking up for his pony pal.
Could you spit into the mic a little bit more? I can't feel the rain yet. And we're having him repeat Dragon Quest by having him win the contest by luck, because that works so well in Dragon Quest! Okay, to be fair, it makes sense here that Spike would have to win the contest by sheer luck because he's not as experienced as the other dragons. But given that I reviewed Dragon Quest so recently where the exact same things happened, it's kind of a cringe reflex. So yeah, it's not this episode's fault that Dragon Quest sucked. But Dragon Quest still sucks. So then Garble becomes a sore loser and refuses to give up the shield.
I wasn't hiding when I beat you down the ridge.
You fell.
Wow, You must be slow if all Spike had to do to win was fall down.
Ooh, we sure Rainbow not the real dragon here? Cause she's spitting fire! Then Rainbow is challenged to a contest of speed, but she lets Garble know that the shield will weigh him down, and he gets to the top first. So then we move to Fluttershy dealing with bees. Then we see Pinky deep sludge diving for a blindfold. Pinky now has radioactive superpowers. Be very afraid.
I can't believe I'm gonna meet Star Swirl the Bearded. You know, outside of my dreams.
Well, as Celestia Senpai once said.
There is no wrong way to fantasize.
But Starlight seems to have doubts about the safety of this.
I'm all for pushing the envelope, obviously, but this is pretty out there for you, Twilight.
Wait, she's being cautious? Good gravy, character development's actually sticking for once!
What's out there about saving the most legendary ponies of all time from a thousands-year-old prison?
Maybe cause this guy's also in that prison? Yeah, did everyone there just conveniently forget that the Pony of Shadows was also there in Limbo? And that releasing the pillars would likely release him too? And even then, there's some other logistics that need to be talked about. These are very old ponies with very old customs. How easily would they be able to adjust to modern life? I mean, they address the idea that magic has come a long way since Star Swirl's day, but given that Limbo wasn't a thing in the show until it was mentioned here, implying that not much is known about it nor is it studied very much, are you really sure that messing with it is really the safest thing to do? But whatever, they cast the spell and save the pillars from Limbo, not factoring in that they'd be falling from the sky or that rocks would probably crush them, but they surprisingly react pretty quickly. I'm surprised. But sure enough, the Pony of Shadows is also released, and... Okay, gotta say this now, that is a really cool design. Honestly, that should have been Sombra's, like, second form, you know? I mean, the cape, black armor, and foreign land already make him a Ganondorf XP. Just saying, complete the package. But Star Swirl has a magical dysfunction and can't re-banish him, but after a quick demonstration of the power of teamwork, the Pony of Shadows disappears to begin recovering from his 1,000-year limbo coma. And we get some dialogue from Star Swirl. I'm just excited because we finally get to see Star Swirl do things. He's been teased as a character since Season 2. It is Season 7! He's first mentioned in Luna Eclipse as the most important conjurer of the pre-classical era, and then in the episodes It's About Time and The Cutie Remark, he developed spells of traveling through time. In Hearthswarming Eve, he even mentored famous figures in equestrian history. In Equestria Girls, he was the one who banished the sirens to Earth. In Magical Mystery Cure, his magic was one of the catalysts for Twilight becoming an alicorn. For once, though, he wasn't as perfect as he was usually depicted to be because he couldn't finish a friendship spell. And in plenty of other episodes, he's been mentioned in passing. So yeah, we finally get to see what this incredibly well-built-up character is going to be like. And what is he?
Then my spell worked, before it was meddled with.
Kind of an asshole. Who's completely right. I mean, he has a good point. Neither Twilight nor Sunburst, two of the smartest ponies in this modern era, didn't have a contingency plan in case the Pony of Shadows escaped, nor did they even consider the idea that might happen. So yeah, they deserve every little bit of sass that comes their way. The team heads back to Twilight's castle, and Star Swirl does impressive thing number 9001. Turns out the pillars were the ones who created the elements of harmony and spawned the castle.
They are reflections of our own elements of hope, strength, beauty, bravery, healing, and sorcery.
Star Swirl, you're a dick. I like you. Yeah, Star Swirl may be standoffish, but everything he says is right. Like this, for instance, where Twilight says if they banish the Pony of Shadows again, it would sacrifice the elements and Equestria would be less off for it.
Equestria will suffer.
If the Pony of Shadows has his way, your land will not exist. So, unless you have a better idea...
Again, he's right! An asshole, but right!
What are we waiting for?
I like your spirit.
I ship it. So, Twilight is kicking herself for accidentally unleashing an ultimate evil and dooming Equestria.
You didn't know that was gonna happen.
Really? Is it too much of a stretch of logic to think that maybe releasing the people who got banished to Limbo alongside the Pony of Shadows would also come back with him? I know sometimes these characters are dumb, but this is stretching it. So Twilight tries to find a spell to minimize casualties and succeeds.
Even though we'll lose the elements, we'll have the ponies that created them, and the Pony of Shadows will be banished for good. That's great. But I was thinking of another way that maybe doesn't involve banishing at all.
And we're getting another redeemed villain. Put that on the bingo card. So then the pillars notice that Equestria is much different now, so much that the places that the Pony of Shadows would normally be able to draw powers from the darkness aren't so dark anymore. That's actually pretty neat from a world building point of view. Twilight brings her idea to Star Swirl, who kind of discards it like trash. As a result, Twilight's friends don't take kindly to it.
Seriously, she got her wings by finishing one of your spells.
Dang! First she's spitting fire, now she on fire.
But we still have no idea where to find the villain.
Convenient!
That's odd. The only time the maps called all of us to one place was Starlight's village. So it's like a supervillain tracker. No offense.
Why is this not a meme? Bronies, I'm ashamed of you. You die first.
The Tree of Harmony acting to protect the light of the realm. Yes, a good thought, Twilight.
Come, we must prepare for the struggle ahead.
I'm Scandinavian, bork bork bork. But Starlight's throwing a bit of doubt on the plan, saying that maybe they should try talking to the villain. That's a fair point. Talking networked with Starlight, so it makes sense that she would put forth that sort of idea. But Star Swirl is of the opinion that talking ain't gonna work. So Starlight asks about the origins of the Pony of Shadows and... well then, cementing the canonicity of Equestria Girls. I hear something. I hear screams of joy. But over here I hear wails of despair. That's Bronies! Turns out that the Pony of Shadows was once a regular unicorn, because villains can't ever be Pegasi or Earth ponies, am I right? I mean, on one hand, unicorns master race, but they're always the villains, so it evens out. He brought the pillars together, but allegedly grew jealous of their power and became the Pony of Shadows.
Stygian was the name the Pony of Shadows gave up when he turned to darkness.
His heart belongs again to darkness.
There you go, obligatory KH joke. Mark that on your bingo cards. Starlight then gets into an argument with Star Swirl about giving Stygian the same chance she was given, but Star Swirl still ain't having it.
Stygian wants to destroy all that is good in this world. There's no way to befriend a pony like that.
I guess I'm lucky your idol wasn't around when you decided to be my friend. I might have been banished to Limbo too.
Wouch! I was not expecting a line to be that much of a whammy. This really does bring up an interesting point. Stygian is a risk, a dangerous risk. Do you try and show mercy in the off chance your enemy will stop, or do you stomp it out just in case? We've seen how powerful the Pony of Shadows is. When he was quote-unquote weakened, he was stronger than Twilight. It's actually an interesting dilemma. So they travel to Hollow Shades. Okay, that is such an awesome name.
Stygian, show yourself and face us!
You know, a thought occurs. Maybe it isn't a good idea to try and taunt the guy who's named after the river Styx. So they fall through a hole in the ground where the Pony of Shadows is waiting for them. They banter a bit, there's a light show, and... I'm getting Spider-Man 3 flashbacks. That's not a good thing. So it turns out that Stygian was upset that the pillars just kind of ignored him after the Siren ordeal. He wanted to be a part of them for some reason that didn't happen. A little bit vague, to be honest, but basic gist, 'twas all a misunderstanding. So they tried to pull him out of the black web-like alien mass. This is totally Spider-Man 3. The Pony of Shadows is banished, we get a nice rainbow shoop-de-whoop for good measure, and it turns out nothing had to be sacrificed. Yay for lossless victory!
The elements! They didn't disappear! Maybe because we used them for healing magic instead of banishing?
That explains why they stopped working after Celestia banished Nightmare Moon, but it doesn't explain why they turned Discord into stone. Magic, how does it work? Then Star Swirl apologizes on behalf of the Pillars.
Thank you for helping us see the errors of our ways, Twilight. It seems I never accounted for the magic of friendship.
Bingo!
So, apparently a conversation can save Equestria?
I'm at half-mast. I need to hear this.
Fine! You were right!
So we end on a nice lesson about turning away from those who need friendship being bad. And that was Shadow Play. It's good. First part of the episode was a bit bogged down by being a fetch quest, but at the very least we got to see a lot of cool lands, enjoy some world building, and it provided the rest of the main six to have a bigger role in the story compared to other season finales and premieres. The design of the Pony of Shadows is phenomenal, probably the best in the whole show. The Pillars were enjoyable, even though we weren't able to spend as much time with them as I would have liked. Probably have to wait until season 8 for that. Star Swirl is probably one of the best characters to be added to this show in recent memory, being a rare good guy who's able to sort of justify being a jerk by having solid reasoning. Not only were the Aesops well-founded, but there were quite a few of them stacked in here. Yeah, the storyline was enforced by characters overlooking a few critical details, and it did have a few by-the-numbers plot points, but the writing and imagery more than salvaged it. This two-parter was very enjoyable, and did what every season finale should do. Get me excited for season 8. I'm the Fiery Joker. And next time...
Oh yeah.
Cut!
All hail Shadow, heroes rise again, obliterating everything that's not your friend. Nothing can stop you now, no ghost to bring you down. There's nothing left to lose, you win. Suffer long and it will set you free. Only through trial do we find the strength we need. It's never over, just another day of hope and tragedies, everything that comes our way. Determination of